That started. What I'm doing is as you may or may not know, I've done courses on mindfulness and burnout for years, and I want to build something very specifically for nurses. And to do
Okay.
that, I'm looking for insights from you and what your experience is. So I've got about a dozen questions that I want to ask about what you're going through with burnout. And that is going to help create something that specifically targets what you and other nurses are running into. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, before we get into those, are there any questions you want to ask me before we get started with about a dozen questions?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, let's begin. The first one is what are some of the frustrations that you have around burnout? If you're experiencing it now for yourself, what's frustrating about it for you?
Um, just not having the opportunity or time to let me start here. To be honest with you, as a nurse, I feel unappreciated because, as a nurse, I feel that we take care of people, however that may be. I'm a telephonic nurse, but I take care of people. I provide them with resources, you know, for so many different things, but nobody takes care of me. I have crappy insurance, that is very expensive, and really our insurance just kind of covers annual visits. Everything else you're going to be paying it out of your pocket every sick visit. You know, if you have to get an x-ray, blood work, all of those things goes towards a deductible. So, I just feel like as a nurse, I'm watching people get provided this great care and I'm not being provided great care. I feel like what frustrates me is that I feel like nurses should have free health care, I really do. Um, so I don't get to go to the doctor when I'm sick because I can't afford to. Inflation is up, everything is up except my paycheck. And so that frustrates me and I'm burned out because I'm not able to go to the doctor if I feel sick. They do provide things like EAP for you to talk with someone, and they will direct you to like a psychiatrist if you need one, if you need to talk to somebody. The problem with that is because I've tried it. When my mom passed away and I was going through a grieving process, I wanted to talk to somebody
Yeah.
and get that help. And every psychiatrist that they gave me that was contracted with us, none of them were taking the insurance, so that was frustrating, and I mean, I called several, and then it was crazy because, like, maybe a couple of months later, somebody brought that up on a meeting, like, "Hey, I've called, for psychiatry because someone had committed, suicide at the company, someone who worked in the behavioral health area,
Yep.
and they started talking about you if you guys are feeling, away and if you need help, call EAP and they can direct you to psychiatrists and counselors and whatnot. And someone brought it up, hey, I've tried that. No one was available. So I'm like, okay, so it's not just me in
Mhm.
my area, it's someone else in a whole nother area. And those are the issues that we're running into. So it's just not getting the proper care, not getting really the needed time off sometimes. I mean, we get time off. Like I recently just took a vacation. I went to Florida. Unlucky for me, I was there when the hurricane was coming, so I had to make the decision to drive out of state with my sisters or be dropped off at the airport and risk the possibility of my flight being canceled.
Mhm.
By the grace of God, it was not canceled, so I was able to get home safely. But I'm back from that vacation, and I feel like I want another vacation like today.
Yeah. everything you're sharing here is so consistent. I was with the company for 18 years. I had the same insurance.
Yeah.
It's expensive and it didn't do anything, and all you did was meet your deductible, and then it didn't do
Yes.
anything else beyond that. It was horrible. And EAP, you are not the only person to share this problem with EAP. I was in the Optum behavioral care
Yeah.
when I left, and EAP, the problem is there aren't enough therapists there. They're not taking clients,
Right.
or if they do, it's not on company insurance, which makes it unhelpful for us.
Exactly.
And you also shared about what I call vacation syndrome. I actually use this in my courses where you go away, you have a great time, you're with family, whatever it is, feels great. And 5 minutes after you're back, you're right back in the soup again.
Yeah.
Didn't change anything. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So thank you for that. Let me get on. I want to get through these questions so we can just talk.
Okay.
Um, have you done any searches on Google or YouTube about what you've been running into with burnout?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Perfectly valid. You're not the only one. I usually get a no. And no particular books or courses that you've taken on this stuff?
No.
Okay. Uh, have you made any kind of investments in trying to help you with burnout? Have you found resources to help you with burnout? Because EAP clearly wasn't it.
Yeah. I have not. I have, like, really the only thing I spend so much time invested in my child, I really don't have time for me.
Yeah. So timing is a big part of whatever it
Yes.
is. Okay, good. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because I hear this one a lot. So, what is it like, your life like when you're not burned out? What does that feel like?
Relaxing, um, just but tired. Even when I'm not, like, in the burnout mode, I feel like I'm trying to catch up on rest.
Okay. What is most painful for you about not having that experience of not being burned out?
Um, Repeat that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What's most painful
Okay.
about being burned out, about not having that that rest and energy?
Just my body is tired. I feel like as a result, it makes me feel like I'm being lazy, which has never been my character. I'm more of a spontaneous person. I like to get up and go. I feel like I've lost that. Like I don't have that get up and go about myself that I used to have. Um, a lot of times I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay around.
Yeah. And I want you to know that's not laziness. This is the human body responding to overwhelm. You're not doing anything wrong. This is your body trying to cope with overwhelm that comes with burnout.
Yeah.
You're not lazy. You're not doing anything wrong. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Almost. I got a few more questions, and then I want to just have an open conversation with you about stuff. Um, what is one thing you feel that you're missing because of burnout?
I feel like I'm missing out on bettering myself. Um, I have all these plans of things I want to do, like looking at going back to school for one to, get a better license so I can make better money. And even to look at other jobs, like I've told myself that, oh, you need to take a few hours out of the day and just apply for other jobs, but I don't because I'm tired when I get off work. And when I'm even with that, I have to jump up and take my son to practices and games. And then I'm tired.
Yeah.
I never have those couple hours that I've been telling myself I was going to take to do those things.
Mm-hmm. 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 So let's say you have a magic wand and you can wave this magic wand and you can create something, a course that has everything you need to help you with burnout. Not a light switch. It's not a do this one thing and everything's better. It's like, no, what's included in something that's going to help you be able to take charge in this and change burnout? What would have to be in there?
It will have to be some time. It would have to be a better degree, more money, some help. I don't have a lot of help. I lost my mom. My sisters live out of state. They all moved out of state. My daughter moved out of state this year. Um, and my son's father lives in Florida. That's one of the people that he visited there. And his father did talk to me about the option of him coming and staying with him so that he can get that turn. And I'm considering it
Yeah.
so that I can get a break. But at the same time, I don't feel like anyone is going to take care of my child like I can.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like you you need to be resourced. You need connection.
Yeah.
Okay. If there were, I'm going to describe something to you, and and bear in mind, this is probably going to, there are parts of this that I know I'm going to include, other parts I'm learning from conversations like this, is a course that teaches you about recognizing burnout and how to deal with it with your unique circumstances that are, it's not one size fits all. Your experiences are unique to you. So something that is
Mhm.
flexible enough that meets your specific needs, teaches you about how to do that so that you can take charge in this. You can get the rest you need, find the energy and passion for this stuff again, and lifetime in a community of other nurses where we have monthly, if not weekly sessions you can join and talk with other nurses, get other ideas, other support, other help, other insights about what you're running into.
Okay.
What would that be worth to you? Because that's
That
what
sounds so good. That sounds so good to me. That would be wonderful. That would be something because right now I have nothing. So just to have something, a support system, anything sounds great to me.
yeah, yeah, okay. And I want to be clear. I will build this, and it will include community. And I'm going to try. I'm working on that right now. Actually, I'm going to try to get continuing education units included in the course portion of this so that you can get help with, if you get help paying for CEUs, you got to do CEUs anyway, but everything I've seen on continuing education for nurses is about the patients in the hospital and the environment system. It's not about you. And this would be different because
Mhm.
this would be about you. Would that help having that included?
Yes.
Okay. Last question, and then an open conversation about this stuff. This is a fill in the blank. Fill in three blanks. Let me read it to you, and then I'll kind of
Okay.
describe it a little bit. The three blanks are: I want to go from fill in the blank to fill in the blank so that fill in the blank. So that I want to go from fill in the blank of your experience with burnout. I want to go from that to fill in the blank what it's like for you not burned out. So that fill in the blank, what are the outcomes? What's it like to not be burned out. So I want to go from, to, so that. What does that look like for you?
I want to go from making a mediocre pay and working myself to death without any appreciation to making better pay for a better position and being appreciated in that. That would make me a lot happier, and that would provide me with things that I would love to have, like a house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like so right now I live in an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and that bothers me. I've never had a house. That's something that I would love to have, but with my circumstances now, that is impossible. Um, by myself. Um, It's so crazy because I looked for houses, like, some years back. I did not know the economy and all this stuff was gonna happen, or I would have pursued it more strongly. Now, I'm in a situation where all these interest rates are so high, houses are, like, triple the
Corporations are
amount
buying
that
up
they
the
were
houses.
just
And, yeah,
yeah, like, 6 years ago. It's crazy. So I'm like, "Oh gosh," it went from looking like a possible dream to impossible.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. And
You're welcome.
a couple things for you. First is you're not stuck. You're not stuck, and you're not doing anything wrong. One of the things that keeps coming up is the a sense of guilt and shame, and that's not so. That's how the system is set up: is to put
Yeah,
the blame for being burned out on employees, on people who are dedicated in doing what they do, and it's not. And that's one of the things I'm not going to build, because I that's not how I teach. Is
mhm,
I'm not teaching you to become numb. I'm not teaching about avoidance. What I have taught before and will be building very specifically with this program is ways to not only take care of yourself and have ideas and a support network on that, but also how to change the conditions that are causing burnout in the first place.
yeah,
And not, again, not a light switch, but maybe being able to connect with others, doing something interesting and challenging that moves the needle, and getting other ideas about what that might be. That's what I'm going
yeah,
to be putting together.
and that's gonna be awesome, just to hear because I can even imagine it just now just to hear what someone else has to say that has been through what I'm going through and has come out of it. They found a resource here or some help here and can tell me what way to go or what to do to just sit and make the time or how to find the time. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And burnout's not just the too much to do and not enough time to do it. It's also reconnecting with what brought you to nursing in the first place.
Yeah.
It's also feeling good about the work you're doing and knowing you're awesome, because the tiredness takes away your energy from really noticing how fabulous you are and
Yeah.
being able to encourage yourself with that. So all that's going to be part of this. So what questions do you have for me about any of this? And then I got a couple more things for you to think about, and then I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. But what questions do you have for me?
How soon are you looking to put something
This together.
together? Yeah.
Yeah, good question. So I want to. This actually is a great segue into what one of my asks is. I want to talk with at least 50 nurses about their
Okay.
experience, because every time I have a conversation, I learn something new, and there are common threads that's going to help kind of build the structure of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
but I want to have more conversations. So the ask is please let other nurses know. Forward the email you got.
Okay.
Just tell them go to mindfulness.voyage, however it works, because I want to have more of these conversations. I'm going to be doing these through probably the end of the year. If I can
Okay.
finish in a couple weeks, I'll finish in a couple weeks with those and then go on to building. What will happen next is I will build a prototype of this.
Mhm.
I'm going to invite people to register for it and give it a test drive. And this will be
Okay.
a live course with me, just starting the community. And it's going to have very few people in it in the beginning, just a few people who want to sign up to take the first time through. Then it will be a recorded program and I can focus on the community and
Okay.
expanding the resources that nurses have for this. So I hope to have the first version of this available in the beginning of the year. And the reason
Okay.
it's not next month is I need to give time to see if I can get the continuing education units built into it.
Yeah.
The turnaround time of about 90 days to get that done. So I need to have that, at least the outline and template, so that they can
Mhm.
apply to get the continuing education units built in. So that's what I want to get done. So I'm expecting beginning of the year. And if it's okay, I want to keep in touch with you about that and see if you'd be interested in participating.
Okay. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, and do let other nurses know. That's the big ask because the sooner I can get
Okay.
a bunch of conversations done, the sooner I can offer this. So I'm hoping early next year. Great question.
And the nurses don't have to be United Healthcare to
No,
do
this
that.
is open within the
Okay.
US at least. And I am speaking with nurses in different countries as well.
Okay. Nice. Because I have all of my sisters are well, most of them. One is an IT person, but
Mhm.
I have two sisters that are nurses and a best friend. So
Please
yeah.
let them know, or organizations you're in, if they have mailing lists or Facebook groups or other stuff like that, let them know that that's available, that I'm
Okay.
actively looking for people to help create the best program that it can be to change this tide because it's got to change. It's 80
Yes.
burnout rates is what I'm hearing in these
Yeah.
conversations, and that's crazy. And no one's, as you mentioned, well, no, they're. I found two books, but a book isn't going to change things, and no courses and no
Yeah.
support, and that's what I want to do because you deserve it because you do great work and you help people.
Thank you.
Yeah. What other questions do you have? That was a great one.
Oh, thank you. I don't have any other questions for now.
Okay. Well, if you do think of any, you've got my email address. Let me
Mhm.
know. You're going to get an email tomorrow with a couple links in it just saying thanks for your time and share this with others. Go ahead and forward the email that you got about this, or just send them to mindfulness.voyage because on that web page right on top is the banner of
Mhm.
nurse stuff and it has the
Okay.
same thing in there. But that will help a lot. That's the biggest thing to get this moving right now is me learning about what you're running into and what would be helpful
Yeah.
for me to build into a program.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good. That would be a good program. That would be really cool if so are you trying to get it to go towards CEUs?
Yeah,
The
absolutely. The
core oh,
courses that I've
that
had before,
yeah.
the burnout course that I had, that I still have, this is my course. These are not company courses, but I taught them at
Yeah.
United Health and Optum. Two different courses, Mindfulness Foundations, which is a purely mindfulness course that we do encourage
Mhm.
people to take because that helps, and Burnout Prevention and Remediation. Both of those courses, each one of them, you could earn up to 25 nursing CEUs. Most of the people who've been through
Oh,
my courses are
nice.
nurses.
Mhm.
Available internally for free because I was an employee, I was getting paid to do this, but they didn't actively market them because they wanted to send people to to EAP, or which, as you found out, doesn't freaking work, or to
Right.
other resources like, oh, you can download the Calm app, which doesn't work because it's not a burnout.
Right.
Target that, and you don't have community and all the rest of the stuff that I'm building in that I know how to do. So yes, there's going to be a cost on this, but it's not going to be any more than you would already have to pay for CEU courses.
Right.
Get your requirements. That's my objective internally is I want to have this be something that is for you, that's lifetime, that helps you
Mhm.
as the continuing education units that you got to take anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know how it goes. And thank you for, yeah, sharing this with anyone who might be interested or might benefit from it. I'd love to hear from them and get their story too.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, if you think of something else later on, let me know. You got my email. I want to hear from you. Send me a note. Let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate your
You
time.
too.
Talk again.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.